And then you come to closing. The closing is, you finally made it. We're all
Yay!
we made it to closing. Woo! That's a happy day
Woo!
for everybody. Okay. Now this is
There's
one of
only
my
one day
pet peeves.
happier than the day of closing, and that's the
Yes.
day the wire hits.
The wire hits your bank account. That's a happy day. So this is my pet peeve when clients, agents, and this is just my opinion, everyone, so don't think you have to.
Sure.
But I think you should go to closing with your clients.
I
This is
agree.
a celebration. You're there, your clients have worked their butt off. They've gotten very stressful to buy or sell a home, especially for the buy side. You know, you don't know what's going on, closing, repairs, we went through all the stuff we just went over the last 3 hours. So when you get to this point, you're just like, I'm there. Whew. So you always try to go through, because what you're doing, it makes your clients a lot more comfortable. They're used to you, you're their support, you're their friend, you're their professional. Now, especially if they're a first-time home buyer, they now feel very comfortable. They now are ready to do it. And what you do at closing as an agent, you don't do anything. You shut up, you sit there, you smile, you go like this, and you look at everyone and you say, congratulations. And then they're
bring
gonna,
them coffee.
a lot of time, yeah, you bring coffee, you drink coffee, you do whatever. I try to turn my phone off. So I'm showing, I just sit there with my hands folded, staring at them, smiling. So I can show like I'm fully into this. And it might be a boring 45 minutes for you. Just suck it up. Be a man or a woman, just take it and move on, because it's the best day for your clients. It's very important. And if you want to go back, like we talked about at the beginning about getting referrals, if you talk to past clients who were very happy with you, they're going to give you referrals, and you're going to get referrals from them. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit there, and all the time they're going to say, huh, we didn't know about this form. What do you think, Andrew? Now I'm going to say, that's a good question. What do you think, such and such title company? And I look at the person who's doing it, and they're going to answer the question. And I'm going to say, that sounds great. And then I'm going to shut up again and smile. And then you let the title company take care of it. They know all the documents. They know all the answers. Your job is to be there as support and to celebrate with the client. That's all you want to do. Okay. If there's any issues, like sometimes things do pop up, then you can jump outside and say, you guys keep going. I'm going to go call and find out what's happening. And you can jump out, call the lender. Usually it's a lender that has an issue with something. And if you have the CD and you've done those steps, you shouldn't have those issues. But every now and then something funny pops up and you have to jump outside. That's why you're there too. You're the fireman, I call it, or the firewoman. You're there to put out a fire, because you don't want to be the closing, because we had one, oh my gosh, where you got the closing and they didn't pay off. The company didn't pay off one of the fees they were supposed to pay before we closed. So we had to call the company. They had to wire the money to the other person who owed the fee. We had to have proof. So our closing got kicked back 3 hours. But if we weren't there, if I wasn't there as an agent, they wouldn't have done, they would have just walked. They said, we're about to walk. I said, no, we're good. Let me make some calls. No, we took care of it. Boom. Called the lender, made it happen. We closed. So be there to help out. You never know what's going to happen. And then for a closing gift, it's always a good idea to get a closing gift of some type. What you want to do this, try to make it something that is tangible. It sounds crazy, but you don't want to just do a bottle of wine or something. I know it's great. You can if you want, that's fine. I shouldn't say that. Some people love to do the bottle of wine or something. I heard great ideas, or some people do like a cutting board where their clients' initials and names inscribed in the cutting board. It's something they can use every day, something they'll see every day. So like when I do it, I try to do a garage door opener, for example, if the home doesn't have one. I'll get my handyman to go out there and install one. So what happens every time they go in and out of their home? They hit the garage door opener and they say, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. They're thanking you for that thing. Or blinds. When I do new homes with new construction, I do a lot of new construction. A lot of them don't have blinds. So at that point, what I do is I say, you know what, I'm going to pay for your blinds. And I know it's expensive. It's usually about $1,000. And I just take it out of my commission at closing. But I do it for 2 reasons. The first reason is every time they open and close the window, they say, thank you, Andrew. And they're tangibly looking at the blinds and they're touching them. And then what do they tell their neighbors? Oh, my realtor bought all the blinds. What did your realtor do for you? They say, my realtor didn't do nothing. My realtor sucks. Oh, man. And then they're going to call their realtor when they need help, not their own realtor. They're going to call your client. But the other reason you also do some kind of gift is when you do a gift, you can write that off as marketing. So if I pay $1,000 for blinds, I have $1,000 write-off now for taxes for marketing. And I tell my client, I'm going to pay your blinds. This is coming out of my marketing budget. Are you okay with that? And they're like, oh yeah, heck yeah, let's do it. With free blinds? Oh yeah. And by doing that, and I put it in writing, I text them that. By doing that, now I can write off, because marketing, you can write off 100% on your taxes. So it's a tricky way to get some things, because as you start making a lot of closings, you start paying a lot of taxes. So you have to have ways to reduce your tax burden, because you're usually about 30% on 1099 taxes-ish, depending on where you are. So it's a good way to get rid of that. Or you could buy like a piece of furniture. I have a thing, we have a friend who's a furniture dealer here, and I have a thing with them where I give them a discount code if they need any furniture for their home, and they get 150 off a piece of furniture they're choosing at my friend's shop. So my friend gets more business, I get to go in and work it, and then it looks good where they can go and buy an end table or a new couch, and they save $150. Everyone's happy, they get more business, and it looks good. And I like to give Cutco knives, and I made a joke, see how sharp an agent I am, kind of, but
I
at
like
that same
that.
time, at that time, it was fun. At the same time, Cutco knives are high quality knives, and they make a whole different brand. So I don't buy a whole set for like $4,000. I'll buy the gift sets for 2 or 3 knives. Or if I know like the person's like a hunter or a fisher, Cutco makes really nice hunting and fishing knives. And they have a lifetime warranty. So if they ever break or they lose them or anything happens, you can get them replaced for free. You just have to have proof that you had them, and you can send them back to get sharpened for free. And they're really, really nice. So think of a gift that's a little bit different. Don't just be the agent that only brings a bottle of wine. I mean, when we bought our home years ago, like 11 years ago, our first home, my wife and I was at an agent. At that time, our agent brought us a bottle of wine in a nice little wooden box that had our initials on the front. We didn't open that till last year, and we actually gave it to somebody when we had friends at the home. We opened it so they could drink it, because we were just
That's
like, we're
funny.
good. It was funny. So it was just part of a thing. So we used it, but it was 11 years later. And we didn't think of that agent because it was bottle of wine was sitting on our fridge for that long in this little pretty wooden box for 11 years. So I want my clients to have something they use every day. So it reminds them, they
Very
think of
smart.
it, they get it. It works very, very good at that. And then you also want to have this ready to go. You want to have a list for your clients, because when they move in, what do they say? How do I get my keys? What do I do? How do I do this? How do I do that? So then you want everything. So you have USPS. They usually, for the mailboxes in the area, if it's like a community mailbox, they have to go to the local post office, the USPS, and go there with a copy of their closing disclosure signed by everybody and say, I just bought this home. Here's a copy. How do I get my keys? And then they're going to give them tell them, okay, your keys will be here. And the mailman will go drop off their keys. And they will love having if they have a contact for all these. Because right after closing, when they walk out, they want to start calling to get all the utilities turned into their name. Because usually the seller will let it stay for a day or so if it's a good seller. And you should have that worked out where they leave the utilities for a day or so in the name of the seller. And then you go through and turn everything in your client's name. And if you have all these worked out so they know exactly where all of it, and you just hand them a list, they love it. Then they can just say, thank you. One less thing we need to worry about as we move, when we get a moving truck and all that. You just knock it out. You look like a rock star. So I know it's a lot of information we covered, but it's a
No, but this I really appreciate you sharing your time and your expertise, because even somebody like myself who has been in real estate for a few years and has transacted many times, I'll tell you, I wish our agent would have been you when we purchased our home,
I wish I
our
was
personal
too.
home. And I can tell you that 90% of our business comes referrals from agents. So we get to see different qualities of agents. And I can tell you that if someone follows just these simple, basic, they should be common knowledge, steps. It's customer service, it's sales, it's at the end of the day, hospitality, but organized and systematic hospitality. They're going to do so much better in their business, and they're really going to enjoy. Most real estate agents drop off, within the first few months, couple of years. I guarantee you, if they did this, they would not drop off. They
when
really.
When I organized this, my first year as a realtor, my first 6 months, I did 18 closings by having a system in place. And that
Very nice.
Yep, that was a great. Of course, that was a great year. And then that's why I can say that I've done a lot of buyer contracts, a lot. If you have a system in place and you work it and you follow it and you make it happen, it gets all the guesswork out. You already know. This month I do my open house. What do I need to do? I need to advertise. I need to do this. Okay, I got my people. How do I show it? You already have it worked out. You don't need to worry about it. It's already there. It's not a question of how you do it. You just have to apply it.
Yeah. Well, we want to go ahead and summarize things real quickly, but while we do, if someone has questions, type them in the Q&A section. we'll cover them and we'll take care of them. Just as a quick kind of synopsis, we went through finding buyer leads. We talked about free and sources. You know, as long as you do systems, you can definitely, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Now, if you want to, you know, there's definitely options for that. But most of the first initial leads that you do, they really should be free. Some of the prep work before showing homes. And there I really liked how you really went through, you know, really just kind of step by step. And it's like, okay, you got to make sure you do this. You got to make sure they're pre-qualified. You got to make sure, you know, this happens. And that way, you know, you're not spinning your wheels. We went through a section called the correct way to prep and show homes to buyers, the correct way. And yes, there is, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say there isn't an incorrect, but there is an unprofitable way to do things. So that was really, really nice. I remember going through the mega open house. Oh man, that was just, you know, phenomenal. You talked about the buyer offer worksheet and the calculator. You know, it's part of the curriculum. It'll be available to everyone. But I thought that was just beautiful how you can kind of just
one thing to show real quick.
Oh yeah, please do.
So what this is, when we talk about the dates, there is an Excel sheet for everybody who paid for the class here. And all you do is put, let's say you close on the 25th of this month. When you put it in, it automatically changes your dates. And then you already know exactly what all your hit dates are. And here it is. So you know what date, everything, and here's for the buyer. And just to be nice, I threw in the seller one too. So then you just do the same thing. You put in the date and then it automatically tells you all your dates for you. So all your dates we went over, it's automatically generated. You don't need to worry about it.
And that's in the same calculator as the buyer dates.
Yep. All the buyer dates are right there. You just put them in, it gives you every hit date. So once you go under contract, you have executed, you're done, you're good, you have it.
Awesome. What documents to include in the offers when you send them? Get an offer accepted, start the option period, earnest money period, organize your crap, people. This is basic information, but it's important. You need to be on your dates, inspections and repairs. You know, it's up to the buyer whether they're going to have an inspection period or not. But I think every quality agent will highly recommend them to have an inspection period. Yeah. And what are some of the things they can do during the inspection period? I tell people all the time, whatever the hell you want. But at the end of the day, it's a nice window where the seller is married to you. They can't go anywhere, but you have not yet committed to them. So really make sure that the home, you know, is really for you. We went through forms, we went through track, we went through examples, we went through calculators. I mean, this really was just awesome. Let me just make sure anyone has any questions, the Q&A area. We'll go ahead and take care of those. And if there are no questions, thank you so much, Andrew, for your time. Thank you for being generous in the way you take care of our students. And one quick thing, if someone wants to connect with you, what would be a quick, easy way that they can find you?
They can find me just a realtor Andrew Morin at Gmail is easy, or they can phone me. I'm all over it. If you search for Andrew Morin, you'll see my mug all over Facebook.
And of course, we're going to go ahead and include your full contact information when we edit this. Thank you so much, Andrew. I hope you have a great one. You guys have a great one. Take care. We'll see y'all.
Take care. Thank you.